So welcome to the fifth and last module of this introduction to cybersecurity course. And like I said, we'll be looking at navigating the cybersecurity career path. And what you need to know is that there's no one path, but there is a right way and an easy path. So there's no one path to cybersecurity because cybersecurity is broad, but there is a right way to get started into cybersecurity, and there is an easy path, which is what I want to share with you today. So I want you to listen carefully. In the end, if you have questions, you can leave the questions in the comment section, or when we have any live session, you can go ahead and ask any question you have. Everything I'll be sharing with you is based on my experience so far in the cybersecurity field, based on the experience I've gathered from friends that are in the cybersecurity field, and also from other professionals and experts in the cybersecurity field. So I hope you find this useful when navigating your cybersecurity journey. So let's start with the first thing. So we are starting with the frequently asked questions. The first one is, must I know how to code or program? So we get this question a lot for most people that are trying to get into cybersecurity, especially for those that perhaps are done with their undergraduate level, they are done with their undergraduate degree. They might not have studied computer science or anything related to cybersecurity, and they want to know, must I learn how to code, or must I know how to code or program? Well, there are two answers to this. The answer is no, and the answer is yes. So let me explain. Allow me to explain. So the reason I said no is because it's not really compulsory, because there are certain roles in cybersecurity that does not require you to have the knowledge of coding. So in case you don't know, cybersecurity is it's a very broad field, and there are different roles in cybersecurity. You can't just say my role is cybersecurity. You can say yes, a cybersecurity professional if you want to be broad, or if you want to answer someone's question. Because if I tell you that I'm a malware analyst, or if I tell a random person I'm a cryptographer, the person will not know what I'm talking about. But by the time I say I'm a cybersecurity professional, they would say, okay, I know you are in this field. So the people that don't require to know how to code are people that do cyber defense analysts, if this is the role you are taking, information security analyst, network security engineer, cyber threat intelligence analyst, SOC analyst, that's security operations center analyst. You have cybersecurity analysts, you have cybersecurity sales. There are people that are in cybersecurity sales. Their own role is to sell cybersecurity solutions. So they can sell patch management solutions, they can sell firewalls, they can sell everything. All these access controls are used in the field of cybersecurity. Their own role is to sell those products. And there's no how you sell a product you don't understand. You can't sell a product you don't use. So these are people in cybersecurity sales. So that's why they do cybersecurity, so that they can understand the products they are selling. So those people don't really need any code, because their own is just to sell. So the last one is also business development. The person that talks about how to develop a cybersecurity company, or how to develop the organization. So these ones don't really require to know how to code. So mostly defensive or blue team. So these people are in the blue team. So there's what they call the blue team, there's what they call the red team, and sometimes I think right now they've added the purple team to it. So there are different colors. There's yellow team and whatever, but the blue team are the people that are classified as the defensive part of cybersecurity. So these are their roles. So if you're going into, or if you decide you want to go through any of these roles, then you wouldn't really need to learn how to code. But if you are going through these other parts by the right hand side, either a penetration tester or ethical hacker, a software engineer, a malware analyst, a cryptographer, a digital forensic analyst, or you're going into reverse engineering, any of these ones, you should know how to code, or at least know how to read codes. Because if a malware analyst, or if there's a malware that has been pushed to the system, there's a malware on this computer, there are certain people that analyze that malware to understand what it's supposed to do. What is this malware supposed to do? Is it supposed to destroy the files on the computer? Is it supposed to send the files to the hacker? Is it supposed to lock all the files? What is this malware doing? How was it crafted? So for you to, a malware and all these softwares are written in code. It's basically code. The virus on your computer is code. It's not magic. It's code written in a particular language that is supposed to cause harm. So you need to be able to understand those codes. So if you have knowledge of Python, maybe you have knowledge of C++, at least it will be good for you to have a good understanding on how all these programming languages work, so that when you see a particular code, you'll be able to understand it. And it's also important to just familiarize yourself with one programming language to be an expert in that one. Maybe Python mostly, because Python is mostly used for scripting in the cybersecurity world. So that is it. I think that answers that question. And mostly all the roles in offensive security, or the red teamers, or the red team, that's all these people here. They need to know how to code. So if you are someone that wants to hack, you like hacking, and you want to become a penetration tester or ethical hacker, then you should know how to code. Not in depth, but at least you should get intermediary to be an intermediary level, not software developer level, but intermediary level. So and in general, I would say, for me, if you want me to give you my honest advice, I would say if you can learn it, please do. If you can learn how to program, maybe in Python or in C++, you can do so. Learn it. No knowledge, they say, is a waste. No knowledge is a waste. So whatever you learn, one day you will find yourself putting it to good use. So if you want to learn it, but this shouldn't pursue you. This shouldn't make you run away from cybersecurity, because I understand there are people that studied microbiology, chemistry, physics, geophysics, maybe English, law, and they are getting into this and they want to do cybersecurity. It does not mean you should run away from all of these things. Okay, it just means that you need to find any of these roles that fits whatever you're comfortable with and get into it. For someone that studied law and wants to enter cybersecurity, most times you see them finding themselves in this information security analyst. Also, sometimes we call it GRC, governance, risk, and compliance. So you see them here where they talk about the standards, we talk about regulations, we talk about policies, we talk about procedures, we talk about all those things. So that is what these people in information security position used to discuss or talk about. So you see most people that study law going into this part. Does not mean they cannot go into the other parts. So that is it. Just know what you are comfortable with. If you can learn how to code, it's fine. It's a good one. Then the second most frequently asked question is, must I get the popular industry certificate before I can get employed? I get this question every single time. And the answer again is no, and the answer is yes. The reason I'm saying no is that, first of all, you just need to be knowledgeable and grounded in the basics. And that's the essence of a course like this. You are grounded in the basics. You learn other basic courses that will help you gain enough knowledge to be employed, because you wouldn't just want to be empty and then you think they will give you a role. So there are certain other steps you will take aside just doing courses like this. There are other steps which you take, which I will still discuss as we go further in this particular module. So I said no, it's not compulsory. The main thing is to get the knowledge. You need to get the knowledge. Once you have the knowledge, then you should be able to get a job. Then I said yes, if you can afford it, why not? I mean, it's not causing any harm on your body or in your mind or in your head. So if you have the money to get the certification, go ahead and get it. But the reason certifications are expensive, you can see a certification of over maybe $400, $500, and this is for the least certification that you will find there. Although there's one that's certified in cybersecurity, is about $100 right now. But I'm sure very soon it will skyrocket because it's a new certification. That's why it's at that price. But the CompTIA Security Plus and the other ones that are there that you might have heard about, those ones are expensive, and it's around $500 above for the at the bare minimum. So someone who has it might have some edge over you when CV is being reviewed. So for example, this person has Security Plus certification, and then you don't have any certification. Some organizations might most likely just pick this person ahead of you, not because you don't know more than the person, but because it's their style. But some organizations don't look at that at all. They look at, when they interview you, they ask you certain questions that your response will tell them, oh, this is the person I need. Okay, I need this person based on the answer the person is giving me. The person knows. So there are some people that just write certifications some people are good at read, cram, and they will just go and pass. but there are some rules that you have to, especially when you're trying to apply as a penetration tester. Sometimes you have to do some technical stuff to show that you know all these things. So I think this answers your question. If you need any further clarity on this, you can also let me know by asking the question in the comments or whenever we have a live session. Then the third question that most people ask is, where can I get additional resources to assist my growth and knowledge? So I get this question a lot too, and most people that are getting into cybersecurity are always confused. And well, you can get some resources, some introductory courses to cybersecurity on Coursera. You can get on Udemy, you can get on YouTube. And some of these courses, they are free courses and some are paid courses. But regardless, I will link some of the ones that I will link the free ones and the paid one, or you can reach out to me and then I would direct you on any of those courses. So they're just courses that will help you in different parts of the cybersecurity, just for you to gain extra or additional knowledge. You can also search on Google, you will see some of those things. Then the difference between the paid course and the free courses is that most paid courses, they go extra mile to share with you and show you stuff that you might not see in free courses. Free courses, they sometimes they teach you well, but they don't go in depth and put the extra stress that will be in the paid courses. So that's why paid courses, they feel like, this should be a paid course because of the extra length I've gone to deliver this content. It does not mean the free content is not good as well. So it just depends on you. Like I said, I will link those resources for you to have access to. So I hope this answers your question. Then this one is like the question everybody has in their mind. Some people don't ask this question. Some people just research this question. Why some people ask, is cybersecurity lucrative? And my answer is it's in capital letter or in uppercase. This shouldn't be your major concern. If you're getting into cybersecurity because you heard, cybersecurity right now is hot cake and people are getting lots of money. If you're a cybersecurity professional, you get a lot of money. I think you should maybe not get into cybersecurity. Now, hear me. Cybersecurity is lucrative, but I don't like telling people that, because the moment you tell a beginner or someone who is just getting started that cybersecurity is really lucrative and that there's money in cybersecurity, you see them just jumping just to get the money. They are not looking at other things. So you need to really know, is this for you? Is this something you're passionate about? You shouldn't just be going about the money. But if you're looking at the money, they make a lot of money, especially outside the country, and even in the country also, there is money in cybersecurity. But it's not, as most times, if you are entry level or if you're just getting started, this is your first job in cybersecurity, this is your first role, you might not get a lot of money. It's when you start moving up the ladder, when you start graduating to higher roles, that you now start seeing the money. But as a beginner, this shouldn't concern you. Even when you get your job, be ready to work for a job without getting paid, because you want to get the knowledge, because you want to get the experience. So this shouldn't be your major concern. So if your concern is the money there, trust me, you get frustrated when you start working. Maybe you get a job or you've not gotten a job, or you get a job, and then you're not paid as much as you saw online. Maybe you've been seeing cybersecurity professionals are paid $150,000 in a year or $90,000 in a year, and then you convert it and you say, why didn't I pay me something as small as this? Then that is now making you to rethink your role after you've gotten a job. So this shouldn't be your thought at all. Don't look at if it's lucrative or not. Look at, is it something you like doing? Do you like the idea behind it? Me as a person, I like cybersecurity and threat intelligence, because I've always been that person that investigates things like scams. How did this scam happen? How did this hack happen? You said your computer was hacked. How did it happen? What was used? So I'm always that type of person that likes investigating things. And because of that, I was able to know the type of role I would love to maybe do long term in cybersecurity. Some people just want where they hack something and see, and it gives them joy when they try to hack something and they end up hacking it. They will be happy. So those people can go into penetration testing. So you should know what you want before you choose the path of cybersecurity, and that should be your concern. you're getting happiness in the role and not just because of the money. So I think I've said a lot about that, about this particular one. And I know some people will not be happy with it, but that's the truth. Then the fifth frequently asked question is, where can I work? I don't think I've seen many cybersecurity companies or organizations here in Nigeria or in Africa or wherever I am. I know in US, in UK, and other first world countries, they have all these, they have companies, they have organizations almost everywhere. They take their cybersecurity really serious. It's not like in some places that they don't have this in place. But in Nigeria, cybersecurity is coming up, and we are getting so many infrastructure, so many things that require the need for cybersecurity professionals. So even all around the world, remember the statistics I showed you in the beginning, the first module. So there's need for cybersecurity professionals everywhere, in every business. So let me quickly share with you some of these organizations. So the first one is banks and financial institutions. So this one is quite obvious that banks and financial institutions need cybersecurity professionals to protect them from losing a lot of money and a lot of stuff. So they have them in, you can be employed as a cybersecurity professional in a bank. It could be a threat intelligence analyst. You could be an information security analyst in a bank. So also software development companies, for those people that code, or those software development companies that code or write or do apps, they create web applications. They have cybersecurity professionals to test those applications, to try to hack those applications. So you see them in this place. In telcos, telecommunications companies like maybe MTN, Airtel, there are always cybersecurity professionals there. Government parastatals, this one, you see them there also in government parastatals here in Nigeria, and you see them. I know all these things I'm telling you is based on, I have colleagues that are working in these different places. So government parastatals, you will see cybersecurity professionals there also. In the educational field, for those that want to teach, you see people teaching cybersecurity like what I'm doing, although I'm not in the educational field, but I also do that. So you see people teaching cybersecurity. They employ cybersecurity teachers or cybersecurity trainers to train people. So there are people in the educational field. That's just what they do. They train people in cybersecurity. Then there are core cybersecurity companies. Although these ones are not that many, but there are few in the country that they employ, everybody in the organization is just cybersecurity, just is majorly cybersecurity professionals. So these companies send out their staff to other companies that don't have in-house cybersecurity professionals to help them run tests, maybe to do a vulnerability testing on their systems, their computers, their servers, and all those things. So they employ from this core cybersecurity companies. So you see the cybersecurity company, their main aim is cybersecurity. Okay, so we have I will also, if you want some of their names, I would give you their names. You can just let me know. So the seventh one, you can decide to work as a freelancer. When I mean freelancer, you could work as a consultant. So if you're grounded enough, people will call you, please come and speak for us, come and do this presentation, come and do this, come and do that. Something happened in our organization, there was an attack, please can you come and consult for us? So you could be a consultant, a freelancer. You're not working for any specific organization or company. You might be working on your own. That's why I wrote self-employed here, but people would call you when they need your services. So you could also be on platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, all these freelancing platforms to offer your services as a cybersecurity professional. Then number 8 here, I said almost in any organization. So I've already said it that some don't have cybersecurity professionals in-house, but they contract cybersecurity companies when they need to do some checks. Although they just have some companies like that have maybe IT staff, they have people in IT, but core cybersecurity professionals they might not have. So they will have to contract people to contract cybersecurity companies to provide those staff for them to help them check some of these things. So I'm sure this has answered your question. In case you're confused about where they work, now you have clarity. And all these things I'm saying is based on experience, based on the fact that I have people that are working in those places, and that I know people that are working in those places also. So the next question is, what other skills do I need to perfect before getting started or to be successful in cybersecurity? So if you've not started answering this question, then perhaps you're not ready to get started in cybersecurity. But this is like a very important question. What other skills do I need to perfect before getting started or to be successful in cybersecurity? So the first thing is to understand the different OS or operating systems and how to navigate them: Windows, Mac, Linux. So this one is really funny because most of us, for me, for example, I started working with Windows. Most people have Windows computer. Not everybody has a MacBook. Not everybody has a Linux computer. But in the cybersecurity field, you see yourself working mostly with Linux and Windows. But sometimes you could see Mac. But in most organizations, you see Windows and Linux. These are the two major stuff they use. Some use MacBooks. But you need to understand how to use them, how to navigate them. So if you have a friend, if you don't have a MacBook, you have a friend that has a MacBook, just try to borrow it from the person. Try to just navigate, see how the controls work, see how to open file manager, see how to use certain things. Like some of these things I'm saying, I'm just sharing them based on my experience. Nobody told me these things before I got started. I was lost because cybersecurity is a field that you don't get someone to tell you all these things, and once you get started, you find yourself confused at a point. So you need to know how to navigate all this things, know how to use Linux is like the main stuff you need to learn how to use. Know how to use the terminal in Linux, just like Windows has CMD, the command prompts, that black stuff. You should be able to use Linux, and you should be able to understand the commands in Linux. What the CD means in Linux, what cat means in Linux, what pwd means, and all those other stuff. Even for Windows, you need to understand all those operating systems and how to operate them and how to navigate them. Then when you've done that, so this is like the next step you should be taking. Maybe after watching this video, try to understand all these things. Then you should go to networking essentials. Try to understand the different type of ports, how network works. So when I'm speaking about networking essentials, then you start looking at what does a firewall do, what does firewall mean, what does an internet cable do, all those basic networking stuff. What type of port, what is HTTPS, what is HTTP. I don't want to confuse you with all of that, but you can look for networking essentials or introduction to networking. So this will help you to at least give you certain knowledge so that anything you see in cybersecurity, you understand what it is. Okay, so it's good to have networking skills. Just everything you need is the basics. For some people going into certain parts, cybersecurity parts, like I said, you don't need the in-depth knowledge in all of these things. You don't need the in-depth knowledge in cybersecurity or in network essentials. You just need the basic knowledge. It's people like network engineers or network and security professionals that need to be going in depth in everything that has to do with networking, because those people handle firewalls, they operate firewalls, they operate all these different networking stuff, routers, switches, and all those stuff. So you just need to have the basic knowledge, except you are going into the part that requires you to be either a networking engineer or network security professional. So the third one, which is important, most people overlook this, is your soft skills. You need to perfect these skills before getting started into cybersecurity. Communication. I was someone that struggled with communication. Even now, it's still something I'm working on, and most people struggle with communication. But you need to be able to communicate your findings. What did you find out? What happened? You should be able to properly communicate, either in writing, verbally, and written communication should be good. So you should be able to communicate, oh, this hack happened and this is how it happened. So you should be able to communicate properly. Then reporting, you should be able to report properly. But I think you will learn this one when you start working in the field. You learn all this reporting. Then documentation, you must be able to document happenings. You shouldn't be the person that something will happen and you won't document it. You say, oh, I'll do it later, and you forget it. Those things are not pardonable in cybersecurity field. Then project management, well, you can learn this. If there are courses in project management, you can just learn it. It will help you even aside the cybersecurity field. Anybody that has knowledge in project management is really good. Then time management. Time management is, now listen to me, time management is really, really, really important. If you don't manage your time, you will end up getting choked up in cybersecurity. So I think it's everywhere. Time management is really a key feature you must have. So you must be able to manage your time, know when to study, know when to, because cybersecurity field, you have to keep studying. Things change every single day. Things change every single day. Something that was TLS 1.1 that was safe to use maybe last 3 years or last year might not be safe to use today. TLS, they will tell you that TLS 1.2 is what is safe, or TLS 1.3. I'm sure you might not know what TLS is, but I'm just trying to make reference. The 1.1 was not safe, it was safe before, but now it's no longer safe. The 1.2 was safe before, but now we are seeing that 1.3 is even better. Okay, so something like that. So you should be studying, because if you don't study, if you don't learn new things, if you don't read articles, if you don't check websites, if you don't keep yourself updated, you cannot do cybersecurity, because things are changing every day. It's not like some career paths or some fields that everything is just the same. Maybe the law is law. Law is not changing, except when it changes maybe once in 10 years. But it's just I'm not taking a hit at those that are doing law, but I'm just saying, I'm sure you understand what I'm saying. Those things don't change, they're just static, unlike something that changes every day. Okay. Then the last one is team problem solving. You must learn to work as a team. In cybersecurity, most things are done in a team environment. It's not, you barely see cybersecurity professionals sing or just staying alone. They work as a team, or they work with a team to solve a particular problem. So you need to learn all these skills, and you need to learn all these things before you can say you're ready to be successful in cybersecurity. Some of these things I'm telling you are things that I never knew in the past, and I'm learning them now. I'm learning them now that I'm already in the field, and I'm just struggling to, I have to know this, I have to do this. Some of these soft skills I'm telling you are things that I'm now trying to do right now. So it's really important you know all of this. The seventh one: what type of job can I get if I decide I am ready to start working? So for someone that has gotten you feel like you're ready to start working in the cybersecurity field, how can I get a job, and what kind of job can I get as a beginner? So the only type of jobs you can get are entry role jobs as a beginner, someone that has not worked anywhere in cybersecurity. And you see job posts or job roles like cybersecurity intern. Okay, you see it like that. You write it cybersecurity intern needed, or you see it as network and security intern needed, or you see it as graduate trainee. Then they'll put in brackets cybersecurity. So these ones are people that just graduated recently, and things like that. So you see it like this: graduate trainee, cybersecurity needed. You see cybersecurity intern. You see cybersecurity analyst, entry role. So cybersecurity analysts, they are intermediate role, they are a more advanced role, but there's entry role. They'll state it there clearly that they need entry role for this cybersecurity analyst. And the other type of roles, penetration testing, they'll tell you entry role. For those that want to become ethical hackers or penetration testers, they are entry role. Those that are just starting, that don't have any work experience. Then you see people that already have so much experience that they are so good in that stuff. So those people are in the higher roles, maybe intermediate or the higher roles. So you also see IT support. So if you see IT support roles, the good thing about IT support roles is that most times as an IT support, most organizations that have IT support, they might not have cybersecurity professionals. But as an IT support, as someone that works in IT support, you will see yourself taking on roles of a cybersecurity professional. You see yourself, you'll be the one doing cybersecurity trainings for the other staff. You'll be the one handling some things relating to cybersecurity. So if you see a role like this, you can still go for it. It's just for a start. You're just getting started. So go for it, get some work experience, see the things that are around, see the environment, see the work environment and how it works. Then there's also system administrator. This one too is not really in cybersecurity, but they have to have cybersecurity knowledge. So any of these roles, you can always go for them. But in most cases, they will always tell you that this is an entry role. Then I usually don't like putting this. Like I said, I don't like putting how much they earn, because once people see this, they just have the wrong idea and they start getting into cybersecurity because of the money. But in US, or according to, this is in dollars, this is what they give to cybersecurity analysts every year. So I think this is like almost 77 million or 70 million. I don't know I think if you use conversion rate of 800 or 700 to give you give you either 17 million or 77 million. I can't remember the conversion, but I don't want to, reason I didn't convert it is that I don't want you to concentrate on how much you are being paid, but you can see the information technology entry level job. This is how much they are being paid. So typically abroad they pay them more than they will pay you in a country in Nigeria or any other African country, but it's still quite okay. But remember what I said. I said this shouldn't be your concern, especially when getting started. When getting started, you want the knowledge, you want the experience, and you want to get known. So that is what you are looking for. Okay, this shouldn't be your concern. Then let's look at cybersecurity part two. Remember, I told you for those that are now asking, okay, how do I now get started? No matter where you are or your background or whatever it is. So you're asking, Emmanuel, how do I get started? So the advice I'll give you for those that are asking me, how do I get started? First of all, if there are two people that usually ask me this question, and I will ask them, do you have a computer science degree? This CS means computer science degree. So if they have no computer science degree, I'll tell them, okay, that's not a problem. You need to take the basics of computing. And by basics of computing, I mean you need to understand what a mouse is, you need to understand what a laptop is, you need to understand what a router is, understand computing in general, how things work. How come you send an email to someone and it gets to the person? So those are the things you see in basic computing books, what they teach you in computer science, just the basics. So after that, and that is what you see in a certification like CompTIA A+. So this is a certification, CompTIA A+. If you purchase the course, it has videos also, and it will lead you through the basics of computing. Then after that, you can now take the Network Plus, where I talked about introduction to networking. You learn the basics of networking. You learn everything you need to learn in terms of the ports used, the communication ports, and what DNS is, what HTTPS is. Don't worry, some people might not know all those terms, but you learn all those things when it comes to networking. You learn the network devices, you learn the type of networking, you learn how computers communicate with each other. You learn all those things. You learn what access points are. So all those things you would see it in basics of computing. The next thing I'll tell you to do after you've learned all these ones is to now go for the CompTIA Security Plus or certified in cybersecurity certifications. So these are good industry certifications. This CompTIA Security Plus is by CompTIA, and this other one is by ISC Square. This certified in cybersecurity. This one is pretty new. If you have the money, you can take this CompTIA Sec Plus, but if you are restricted on budget, you can take this certification. This one is quite affordable and is new. It's also good. But before you consider taking any certification, like I said, you need to have gotten enough knowledge. Like you watching this course is a good one. You taking part in this course is a good one. You must have also taken part in other cybersecurity courses. And then even when you want to write this CompTIA Security Plus, you have video resources like this too that will now go in depth and start hitting on certain things which I've also talked about. Okay, so once you're done here, you go here. But for those that did cybersecurity degree, I just advise them to come straight to this point where you go for this certification, or when you try to learn when you start taking courses on introduction to cybersecurity. You don't need to start taking basics of computing or networking, because as a computer science student or graduate, it's expected that you must have gotten this knowledge. But someone that has not started you've not done your undergraduate level, you can start from this beginning. You can start from the beginning also. The next one will be to understand the different types of cybersecurity career paths. Like I listed a lot for you. I listed the different types of career paths that there are over, let me see, I think there are over 30 different cybersecurity career paths. So you need to understand that there are three major categories: the blue team, the red team, and the GRC, that's the people that do the risk and compliance part. The red team are the offensive team, the blue team are the defensive team. So you would understand these different career paths, and then based on your strength, you will now know, okay, what role do I want to go into? So you will know what role. By the time you've even studied the Computer Security Plus, you've seen some of these things, then you will now know which role you want to try out. Don't be surprised. Like, I know people that have tried, maybe they've gotten, maybe they were cybersecurity analysts, and after a while they said, no, this is not for me, let me do JRC. So it happens. But the main thing is, it's good to just try to understand what they do, what the roles of each of these people, understand their roles, and this will help you to make your next decision. So I would have a video where I do interviews with people in the industry in this particular field, and then see if they can answer questions or tell us what they do in each of these different roles, so that will also guide you towards making your decision. And after this, you can now, if you are in a blue or red team, you have to do what they call CTFs, capture the flags. This is like a game that simulates normal cyber attacks and how to prevent them, or how to monitor them, or how to find them. So it's mostly people that are in the blue team or red team that do CTFs. Then aside doing CTFs, you have to take virtual internships. So you see virtual internships that are online, done by different companies. Like I think there's PwC's to do one, KPMG's to do cybersecurity internships, McKinsey, and different virtual internships. Sorry. What they do is that you take some just little videos, they show you little videos, then they tell you, they simulate real life scenarios. They say there was this attack, how do you prevent it based on this information you have, and stuff like that. So that is what virtual internships are. And I think when you are done, they always give you like a sort of course completion certificate. Then the last thing is to create your own labs. For those in blue or red team, you need to have your own lab for practice, where you practice. So you see people with virtual machines, you understand what that is when you move further. Then after all this have been done, this is just preparing you for getting a job. This is just preparing you, because you have to do all of these things before you finally get a job. And to get a job, before you can get a job, this is really important. You need to prepare your CV. CV has to be good. I think I would also link a resource where I talked about how to prepare your CV effectively. And also your LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn has to be well optimized. Your LinkedIn is not just a place where you just write anyhow and just write shabby stuff, because most people find people on LinkedIn. I think the job I got today was because of my reference on LinkedIn. Most people that got their cybersecurity job is because of their LinkedIn. When you take any course and you get the course completion certificate, post it on LinkedIn and all those stuff. This is what gives you visibility. And so if you write any articles also, it's good to write articles based on what you've learned, either from CTFs and whatever. If you write any articles, don't keep it to yourself. Share it on your LinkedIn, share it on your website if you have a website or a blog. I went in depth on how to get ready or how to get a cybersecurity job. I will link the video resource for you to watch if you're interested in that. What is the next step? What should be your next step now after this course? At this point, we are done with the course, so this is just like a bonus. What I would advise you to do is, the first thing is to watch out for my next course on this platform. So I would have another course on this platform. I will let you know what it will be, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel SC CyberSafe. Subscribe to the YouTube channel SC CyberSafe. I think there you can get more information on cybersecurity and just get to see, interview with people in the industry that are in different parts or roles in cybersecurity, and you can subscribe to other cybersecurity channels too that are out there to help you. Then another thing is, find people doing cybersecurity also. So it's important, don't just be a lone wolf. Get mentors, get study buddies, get people that you would say, oh, what have you learned today? What is new? And those people will share opportunities, because there can be one free certification, there can be something, and they will just share it with you. And once they share it with you, you also would partake in it. So you need to don't just be alone and think you would succeed in cybersecurity. You need to have people around you, people that would prompt you when things get hard, because sometimes you just get tired based on the way things are. You just get frustrated, but when you have people that will spur you or give you advice, then it will be easier for you to keep moving on. So that should be your next step. Look for WhatsApp groups to join or Slack groups to join, and have other people, either beginners or experts, that you can reach out to. There are other forums too, maybe Reddit platforms. You see those things online. Then I would strongly recommend you watch this series. Even before, this is what you should do next. Before you do anything, watch this series, Mr. Robot. So it depicts what happens in cybersecurity field dealing with cyber attacks. So this is Mr. Robot. It's a series. I think it's 1 hour per episode or 50 something minutes per episode. It's quite long. But what I enjoyed most about this particular series was that it's not like what you see on TV where they say, "Oh, I'm hacking this organization," and you're just tapping your screen. You're just tapping anyhow. This one is actually showing you real life simulation. Like it's showing you what cybersecurity professionals will do on a norm. Whatever code they type or whatever they type, whatever tools they use, whatever software they use, are actually what we cybersecurity professionals use, but mostly those in the offensive side of cybersecurity. So you have a lot of things to learn. You see how hacks happen. You see how hacks are prevented. So this will open your eyes to seeing the types of cyber attacks, the type of attackers that are out there. So I'm sure you really enjoy it, and you can find it on Amazon Prime. So if you don't have Amazon Prime, you have to subscribe to it or something. But I will not advise you. I know some people will be running to O2 TV series or Net Nigeria to look for it. Remember, now you are trying to get into cybersecurity, so you shouldn't be like all those people that are downloading pirated stuff or from all those movie websites, except you are sure that they are safe. And it's only people that are into cybersecurity that will know how to scan those sites and everything. So I would advise you to try to get Amazon Prime, even if you just do the subscription for 1 month. I think the subscription for 1 month it's like maybe 3,000 or something like that, or 2,000. Once you do the subscription, it lasts you for an entire month. You can watch it, then you can decide to uninstall it if you don't want to use the app again. But it's really important. Then after that, just get started. Know where you stand. Am I going to do cybersecurity or not? Know where you stand. Don't be confused. Don't end up. Just get started. Start doing something. Start taking actions. Because you could watch all these videos. You could do all this stuff and still not get started. So get started. You not having a laptop shouldn't restrict you. I feel like some people have that mentality that, oh, I don't have my own laptop. I don't have a personal laptop, so I can't do cybersecurity. That is a big lie. Although having a laptop is really essential, is important, but it does not mean you cannot do cybersecurity. You can use your smartphone. I'm sure some people are using smartphone to watch this course. You can use your smartphone to watch other courses. You can use your smartphone to do your CompTIA Security Plus videos or any of those things you want to watch. You can use it. Some people use their phones to program. Some people use their phones. They have all these all these IDEs or programming applications. They can use their phone to program. They can use their phone to hack. They use phones to hack. In case you don't know, there are softwares that will help you to hack with your phone. I remember when I started, I even had all those things. I was using my phone. So people use their phones. So you shouldn't have any excuse of, oh, I don't have a laptop, and that is why I can't go further, or that's why I can't learn anything. When I get laptop, I will start. If you tell yourself that, then you see yourself not starting at all. Okay, so I think that is all I have to share with you in this course. I would say thank you for watching, and I'm sure you learned a lot of stuff. I might have cybersecurity professionals watching, and I'm sure most of them would agree with at least more than half of everything I said. And I would also love to have their inputs, those that are watching, in the comment section and anywhere. I appreciate everyone I appreciate you especially that took your time to watch this course from the beginning till the end. It's an achievement. Like I said, you need dedication. You needed dedication to have gone from the beginning of this course to the end of this course, even when some of the things I said were strange to you or you might not have heard them before. But your willingness to learn is really key. So if you hear that, if you hear maybe a term that I used, if you hear it now, if you hear it somewhere else, or if you see it somewhere else, you say, okay, I have an idea of what this is. Okay. And two people's explanations are always different. The way I explained cybersecurity attacks or cybersecurity threats, the analogies I used is different from the analogy someone else will use. But the thing is that you have an idea of how it works, and this would also help you. So thank you, and I will see you in my next course. Bye, guys.